It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Philadelphia 76ers going up against the Thunder in Oklahoma City. Looking at the Thunder, 5-5 over their last 10 games, but they're not satisfied with 500 ball. Looking to tack one onto the win tally tonight. And you often hear about the on-court intensity of some of the all-time greats, guys like Kobe and Jordan, but they'll tell you that Russell Westbrook has that same edge to his game. Guys, how does that work to his advantage?
He's always had the utmost confidence in himself. It bleeds out of him. You see the confidence. And in any question that you had about his leadership has been answered right now.
I agree with that. And one thing I like about his game is he looks for a way to take over the game from start to finish.
And he's made popular a new statistical category.
Which is?
Triple Russells.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh, I like that, Ernie.
Yeah,
you got
mine.
two of them, right?
I stole it from someone.
But that's okay. It sounds better coming out of your mouth.
Here's Kevin Harlan.
It's time for some hoops at the Chesapeake Energy Arena, home of the Thunder here in downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And we're going to bring it to you live on 2K Sports. Well, before you look ahead to your busy week, sit down, relax, pull up a chair as we bring you another NBA broadcast. And thanks for sharing part of your weekend with us. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge joins us from the sideline. Thunder making a quick stop here in front of their home crowd of Oklahoma City, just one game before heading back out on the road. No question they've got this game penciled in as a win, but they still have to go out and make plays. They'll look to take an early lead, then try to get this one over early.
And they're 1-0 against them this season, and this is the final matchup. So a little bit of extra incentive tonight, knowing they have a chance for the season sweep.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, whether it's 2 games or 20, you love to go unblemished against any opponent over the course of a season. Of course, the opposite is just as true. Getting swept is no fun at all.
We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Hey, Kevin, Sixers coach Brett Brown says that Philadelphia reminds him of his hometown of Boston. He said the city has tremendous pride. The city wants winners. It's a tough, no-nonsense city. Nobody's sugarcoating anything, and I love that because you can just tell it like it is. My responsibility is to produce a team that plays hard. Guys?
Thanks, David. Right on the money. Philly's passion for sports is something that makes them so unique. Clark, I'm certain for coaches and for players too, but certainly for the coach because he's got to moderate this, how he tries to keep his players focused every night in every game in the NBA. It's such a long season.
Yeah, it really is a long season, and you have to sprinkle and not spray if you're a coach. By that, I mean you can't use all of your material too early in terms of motivating. But the other thing is, you need not be motivating your players all the time if you're a coach. That's something that pro players should be doing themselves.
Now a look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. They've got Embiid. Ben Simmons is out there with Fultz. Then it's Wilson Chandler, and it's Šarić in at the 4. And so it's the Thunder getting on the board first. And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's his first foul.
Well, that was a quick foul for him there. The refs are certainly calling it close.
And stolen by Patterson. Westbrook passes to Patterson. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Here's Simmons. Embiid is at the elbow. And there it is for him.
And you can see how comfortable Embiid is, feeling like nobody can guard him in the paint. And he's right.
Westbrook with it. Now guarded by Simmons. Westbrook against Simmons. Here's Adams, and he banks in the layup. Adams has got his first bucket in this one.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Boy, it's a thing of beauty watching him attack the defense like that. I mean, they wanted no part of him on that layup.
Now here's Šorić. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Spurs in San Antonio.
Yeah, but the rebounding in that game as well was just tremendous. I mean, he dominated the backcourt.
The Thunder have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. Here's Westbrook. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2. And when you watch Russell Westbrook play, he's one of the most competitive players in the NBA.
And with the way he attacks the rim and plays with just no abandon, I mean, this guy is no joke. Absolutely wills himself and his team to just do things that few others can, and relentless from the first quarter to the last whistle.
And the first one drops.
And Russell Westbrook is as explosive a guard as we've seen in the history of the game. An incredibly gifted scorer who can also punch it on you.
And so Westbrook makes them both.
And one thing you have to say about Russell Westbrook, he is an absolute star. I mean, the type of player you can build around and win with. Just the total package on the offensive end of the floor.
Now here's Simmons. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against the Spurs in San Antonio. Here's George, and then George with the jam.
Yeah, you know, George really enjoys being in the air. I mean, this guy has great body control and bounce, and his slams at times can be absolutely sick.
The numbers Westbrook put up last season in his MVP run, Greg, just staggering.
And you figured his numbers would get a bump, but I don't think anybody could have expected this guy to average a triple-double. I mean, arguably the most impactful superstar in the league.
He was all alone on that one.
Boy, what's most impressive about Simmons is how he finds the open man so consistently, the vision, the unselfishness. That's what you want to see out of him.
Here's Roberson. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. George dishes to Patterson, and stolen by Simmons. Here's Fultz. Goes back up, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Hey, I tell you what, Kevin, I like the fact that Markelle Fultz is not afraid of contact. He doesn't mind getting roughed up. When he's going up with his shot, he plays through that contact nicely.
It's his first trip to the line.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Blue shots.
That free throw, no good.
And rarely do you see a team trade out of the first overall pick, but that's exactly what the Celtics did with Fultz. Sixers jumped on the chance to move up, and Fultz matched exactly what they wanted to add to this team.
And he can't hit the second. And you know, Greg, for the trade, it wasn't so much a critique of Fultz.
You know, Boston had a playmaker already, and they might not have taken Fultz if they stayed in the #1 spot. And listen, the Sixers were in desperate need of a lead guard, and they got a franchise caliber one in Fultz.
Now Fultz, after Westbrook's missed 3. And Šorić kicks to Embiid.
And Embiid loves to punch it now. The defense can't let him get that kind of position inside.
Adams with the screen on Chandler. And George, here we go.
Well, when Paul George announced this summer that he intended to leave for the Lakers when the contract ran out, you knew what was coming. Even as a rental possibility, the suitors lined up, and eventually the price was paid, and now George finds himself in a Thunder uniform.
And the first one at the line is good.
I tell you what, Paul George, one of the more entertaining and fun guys to watch in the league. I mean, he's an elite player thanks to his outstanding shooting and ball handling ability, and he's got platinum level athleticism.
And George drops them both.
Probably as close to a sure thing as you can have at the free throw line.
And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. Simmons on the wing. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. And the shot goes in from Embiid. And to many, the Thunder came out of nowhere to land George in that trade.
You know, most thought Cleveland or maybe Boston were the front runners for his services, but the Thunder snuck in and made their team a two-star squad once again. Very interesting to see how far the duo of Westbrook and George can go.
Now here's Simmons. Steven Adams unable to get his last shot to go. For the three, Chandler. It's hauled in by Adams. The Thunder leading by 3. It's Westbrook with the drive, and it's Patterson finishing it off.
Love the attitude of Westbrook. Continues to improve at running the offense and finding ways to create opportunities for his teammates.
Now here's Simmons looking for his first basket still in this one. To the inside, Embiid. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Simmons got his 4th assist in this one. Patterson, the screen from deep. George, his shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Boy, the confidence that George brings to his game is also confidence that impacts and injects his teammates. He's a high-octane scorer who's ready to go as soon as the game starts and whenever he gets the ball.
Looking at Philadelphia, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Spurs in San Antonio.
Man, I tell you what, one of the things I love about Westbrook is the ferocity with which he attacks the rack. When he's driving inside, he's trying to punish the defender and the basket.
Embiid the screen. Fultz kicks to Saric, launches it, trains the three-pointer. Saric has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
And no matter who it is, that kind of D isn't going to get it done.
Here's Roberson, and stolen by Simmons. On the wing, Chandler. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
And that was
Wow! Are you? Oh my goodness!
And you know Westbrook has an outstanding vertical. Once he gets to the launching pad, rim, beware.
And for the Sixers, a lot of missed rookie seasons over the years. First Nerlens Noel, then Joel Embiid, now Ben Simmons.
Yeah, but in many cases, I think they drafted them knowing they might be out of commission for a while. Still, I think the Philly fans probably hope not to hear the phrase foot fracture for a long time. Hopefully, they can keep everybody healthy and get this thing moving forward.
The 76ers trail by 8. Now, here's McConnell. Screen by Saric. McConnell passes to Saric, and slam dunk by Saric.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
Now, here's Westbrook. He's coming off a 25-point game against the Pistons in Detroit.
And, you know, Kevin, his creativity really on display that night. I mean, he was threading beautiful passes everywhere.
Now, here's Chandler. Following the miss by Russell Westbrook. Three-pointer. The rebound by Paul George.
Yeah, not a great shot there, especially when you got a lockdown defender guarding you.
Agreed. I mean, when the defense is right there, you've got to move the ball, make the extra pass. That's a case of a poor shot selection.
Now, here's McConnell. Defense right on him. He kicks to Fultz. Launches a three. The shot will not fall. And it's Oklahoma City the other way. Their last encounter was in Philadelphia, where they were able to handle the 76ers.
And talk about a battle that just kept going on. It really is a good feeling bringing home a double overtime win. Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with San Antonio.
And you know what? They were giving away points, missing at the line, a big factor in the outcome.
Ditto that. When you give up this many points at the line, makes it a lot easier for the opposition.
And Oklahoma City going with a whole new group out there. And Philadelphia will go for a different look here. Johnson, he's checked in for Embiid. Muscala comes in for Saric. Robert Covington's checked in for Wilson Chandler. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Fultz. Now, here's Redick. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game.
And Redick drains these shots constantly. I mean, senses and feels the separation and then capitalizes on it.
Here's Grant, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. And it's blocked. Now the 76ers on the break. Redick's got the ball, so he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And just who is providing all the playmaking here tonight? Let's look at the breakdown between the front and backcourt for Philadelphia.
It's been the guards who dominated the ball, but really in a good way, creating opportunities for their teammates, and that's something they'll look to continue here down the stretch.
Shoot 2.
That's good from McConnell. Clark, if you were coaching a team, you had 1 shot to win a game on the line, which player in the league would you want to take that shot?
I like a lot of guys for last shot circumstances. LeBron James is always on my list. Kyrie Irving is at the top of my list. And Damian Lillard is a killer. Isaiah Thomas, the little big man, is phenomenal in those kind of late game situations. But I think I'm going to tip my hat to Kyrie Irving. Uncle Drew is my guy.
The 76ers shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And they've been ordinary on the season as well, just about 75% from the line.
And this year they haven't quite been able to maintain the free throw percentage they had last season.
And both free throws good for Covington.
And, you know, through the long rebuild in Philly, the Sixers' strategy was to develop unproven players and try to find some diamonds in the rough. Not a bad way to go when you're going to be patient. And Robert Covington might have been their best find. A very good defender at both forward spots.
Now, here's Grant. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Can't get it to go. He's taken 2 and missed 2.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Yeah, I like the way they're setting the tone. They're really playing with a lot of energy here at the start.
And the rejection by Noel. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. Schroeder passes to Ferguson. Back to Schroeder. Feeds to Noel. Down low. And there's Schroeder. That's good. The assist by Noel. And the Thunder lead by 8. And Covington offensively, mostly a catch-and-shoot score.
Yeah, he plays well off others. His three-point percentage has kind of went south the last few seasons, but if he works on that, I think he's got a place with this team, or if not this team, then certainly in the league.
And so it's Oklahoma City with it. Philadelphia getting their last shot to go. They get it back. Noel dishes to Grant, and it's denied. McConnell with it. Inside, Muscala. Kicks to Johnson. Outside, Redick from outside the arc. Redick can't get that one to fall. The Thunder leading by 6. Ferguson, the pass to Grant. Misses from close range.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Here's Redick. They get it back.
And, you know, where was the defense there, Kevin? I mean, even though he missed it, that was not a good effort. Pitiful.
Here's Ferguson. Misses the three. The 76ers trail by 6. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Redick with the three. Redick can't get that one to fall.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Johnson with the block.
Excellent defensive commitment that time from Johnson. He's always there and present.
Beyond the arc. The shot by Redick, no good.
Boy, he's having a tough time right now. Seems like he's forcing his shot a bit to me, Kevin, not letting it come in the flow of the game.
Now here's Schroeder. 14 points from him the last game against the Pistons in Detroit.
And he just hasn't been able to make anything this quarter.
Here's Redick. Pass to McConnell. There's the screen. And there's the feed to Muscala. 6 on the shot clock. And the 76ers get it back.
And now taking a look at some numbers for Noel. He's really stood out for them over the past month. Second in field goal percentage, and he's in the top 20 in steals, bringing that focus and intensity at both ends.
And you mentioned it, he's the second best shooter in the league right now. Quick trigger with just a little bit better footwork. He could take over that top spot. The first one falls.
And that versatility that Johnson offers has a huge upside. He's mobile and strong enough that he can defend either front court position, and that's a great tool for any team to have.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Adams checked in. He hits one and misses one, each at the line.
And the missed free throws starting to be an issue.
Yeah, they're scuffling at the line. Struggling is a better way to put it. But you like the fact they're getting there. Now it's just a matter of knocking them down.
The 76ers trail by 5. McConnell kicks to Muscala. Good. And McConnell gets the assist. McConnell's got 4 assists now tonight.
How on earth did they let him get that wide open?
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Screen by Adams. The pass to Ferguson to end the drought. The rebound by Johnson. Johnson's got his 5th rebound in this one. Lets it go from 11. The shot by Redick, no good. Tries from 10. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Ferguson's got his first 2 points of the night. Russell Westbrook has been leading the charge for Oklahoma City, setting up teammates and getting buckets. He is looking as determined as ever. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And a moment now to hear from Steven Adams as he reflects back on a life growing up as the youngest of 18 children back in New Zealand.
So, like, the youngest over there has to do everything, like all chores, pretty much 18 years of being rookie. That's pretty much all it is, and people just beat you up for no reason.
Hard to imagine growing up in such a huge family, but it sounds like maybe it prepared him for life in the NBA.
Yeah, I'd say it might have toughened him up a little bit, that's for sure. Wow, 18? That is mind-boggling.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. What stands out to you from Oklahoma City in this one?
Through that first one, they've turned this thing into a track meet.
Yeah, outworking them right now, plain and simple. I mean, they've been terrific in the open floor.
Noel is out there with Steven Adams. Then there's Grant, and it's Ferguson in at the 2 spot. That's the group for Oklahoma City getting going here in the second. Ben Simmons, he's checked in for Philadelphia. There's the dish to Noel. Grant kicks to Noel, and Noel throws it down.
This guy, Noel, man, he's got a massive reach. Just lob up these passes, and he'll handle the rest of it.
The 76ers trail by 6. Greg, you watch the Thunder play, and it's clear that this team comes out looking to attack. Everyone on the team wants to put it on the floor and go right at the rim.
And part of that is their leader, Westbrook, just setting the tone. I mean, team finished near the top in points in the paint last season, and the addition of Paul George just helps to enforce that strength.
And so it's Oklahoma City with it after Ben Simmons' miss. He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. He's on his way to the free throw line.
And really few teams in NBA history have undertaken the sort of extreme makeover the Sixers did over the last 4 years, and a lot of losing along the way, but the fans have been surprisingly supportive of the rebuilding process.
And before the rebuild, the Sixers for a long time were stuck in mediocrity. Treading water, Greg, as they might say.
Yeah, and it's hard to make that leap without top draft picks. And the Sixers plumbed the depths, if you will. And now, though, I think they found their treasure trove.
Now, here's Redick. And a wide open look for Simmons. Simmons missing again. A minute and a half gone here in the second quarter. Ferguson, the pass to Abrinas. Noel up top. Grant outside. Dishes to Adams. Pass to Ferguson from downtown. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. And Simmons kicks to Redick. Teardrop shot, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's going to be on Nerlens Noel.
You know, sometimes the great three-point shooters in the game don't carry that same success to the free throw line, but that's not the case with J.J. Redick. I mean, he's cash money from the stripe, too.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
The free throw drops for Redick. Well, J.J. Redick had quite the interesting free agency period. Greg, ultimately he signs with the 76ers on a huge 1-year, $23 million deal.
Yeah, and this is the team that wanted him. Great fit with his shooting, something that they obviously needed. And Redick had a lot of suitors, but he saw something developing with this young Philly core.
Clark, when you were playing, what was your game day routine like?
Well, it was simple. I didn't complicate things, Kevin. I tried to get a good meal, was just beginning to learn how to eat properly and best for my body. And then I would always try to get an hour to 2-hour pregame nap. That goes all the way back to high school. I enjoy just getting off my feet. Sometimes I would fall asleep completely. Other times I would just kind of drift into a light sleep. But just having that routine of resting before games was part of how I got ready to try to serve the other guys up.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
Here's Adams. Philadelphia getting their last shot to go. And there's the call on Joel Embiid. That is his first foul of the game. A different look for Oklahoma City. Patterson comes in for Noel. And it's Andre Robertson in for Alex Abrinas. Then for the 76ers, Chandler comes in for Robert Covington. And it's Fultz in for J.J. Redick. Here's Robertson. To the middle. Here's Adams. And the rejection by Embiid.
Solid read from Embiid there. Terrific at anticipating when that shot is coming.
The shot will not fall. Oklahoma City leading by 7. George double teamed to the left wing. Robertson dishes to George. Back to Robertson. And again, Oklahoma City no good. For Philadelphia, they've gone 1 of 6 from the field in the second quarter. It's been a rough period so far. No one near Fultz as he lets it go. That 3 off the mark. Thunder have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. And then George with the jam.
Not much you can do against Paul George on the drive. I mean, he's got great length and he knows how to use it, and he gets exactly where he wants to.
Now here's Fultz. Tight defense on him. He dishes it to Simmons. Out to Chandler. The offensive rebound. Oklahoma City has gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Here's Patterson, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for Oklahoma City?
And so far, these guys have done a fantastic job finding the opening man and getting some easy baskets.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunities. They're really keeping it up tempo so far.
That free throw good from Patterson. Greg, the one thing about Patrick Patterson out of Kentucky, he is a smart basketball player.
Yeah, he's not the best rebounder or shot blocker, but the advanced stats love him, and he gets the job done at both ends of the floor.
And so he hits both.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
One way to protect the lead, knock down those free throws, and 100% free throwing for the quarter, that's superb.
And the 76ers call time here. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game, and that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
And Simmons kicks to Fultz. Back to Simmons, and Simmons slams it in.
And how about the connection Simmons has with his guys? Once the lob is on its way, you know he's going to finish in style.
Now here's Patterson. He's got 8. Screened by Adams. Here's George, and George with the stuff.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam.
Really piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
And it's the 76ers with the ball. Following the score by Oklahoma City. Fultz kicks to Embiid. Another shot. Can't hit that one. Adams, some nice D.
You know, he's been off so far, Kevin, but there's still time. I mean, he just needs to settle it down, idle it down a little bit, and try to contribute as much as he can on the offense within himself.
With the putback. Great positioning on the putback.
Fultz is an absolute blur in transition. Excellent at running the floor and getting to his spot.
Oklahoma City leading by 9. Outside Westbrook. Misses the 3. Philadelphia has gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Passes it to Fultz. Chandler is screen. Fultz kicks to Saric. He feeds it to Fultz. No good there. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way.
I mean, his field goal percentage isn't good. He's not helping his team out there shooting this poorly.
Adams' shot is off.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
The Thunder have gone 5 of 11 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. And the dunk by Robertson.
Yeah, getting theirs before the defense can set up.
Perfect execution. That's how you take advantage of a transition opportunity.
And here's Fultz. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Spurs in San Antonio. For the 3, Chandler. Here's Saric. Almost, but it rolls out. Oklahoma City leading by 11. Westbrook passes to George. He kicks to Robertson. Westbrook dishes to Robertson. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. Roberson's got 7 points in the game. Here's Simmons. Steady offensive output from him, averaging more than 16 points a game. They set the screen. Feeds it to Fultz. The 76ers with another miss.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Patterson, that's good.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Timeout called, the 76ers. And Clark, as you watch the game at both the college and pro levels over the years, what has been the biggest change for you in your view of that?
Well, you know what, Kevin, there are a couple of things. The athleticism, the real emphasis on training and strengthening the core, meaning from your kneecaps to your sternum. The work that's done to train the hamstrings and quads and glutes and that core area as a place of power, as your center of power, is one of the significant changes I've seen, not just in basketball, but all sports. And it's benefited the athletes greatly and the overall athleticism. And then from a playing standpoint or on the floor standpoint, I think the three-point shot. I think that's been the biggest dramatic change in the game.
Embiid. And Adams sends it back.
No doubt the fight's there. They are trying to battle back, but he's just really struggling this quarter.
And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
I'd agree with you, and I don't think they expected this one to be a game where they would get battered inside like they have.
One shot, behind the lane.
Free throw good, Adams.
And as you would expect, Steven Adams has grown into a larger role with this team. Really came in as a guy who could defend and rebound, but starting to become more of a factor within their offensive framework.
Now here's Chandler. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Spurs in San Antonio. And Adams sends it back. Patterson, the screen. And George kicks it over to Schroeder. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Embiid.
And a moment here to see the numbers for Joel Embiid. He's around 18 points per game, 17 rebounds, and almost 3 blocks. And the numbers, while pretty outstanding, I mean, we've now come to expect that from this guy.
Completely in harmony with what his coach is trying to do there. Just a marvelous all-around talent.
Schroeder outside. Johnson with the defensive effort. And Greg, with Adams, he hasn't just been given more opportunity to display what he can do on offense. He's earned it.
You hit it right on the head. And, you know, as an example, a guy that was a bad free throw shooter, all of a sudden he became respectable because of his work ethic last season. Much more nimble in the paint than most would think. Just good awareness, and he knows when to pick his spots.
Now here's Chandler. After the miss from Dennis Schroeder, Chandler kicks to Fultz. Here's the screen. Just 5 to shoot to stop the run. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And the one thing that you gotta love about Markelle Fultz is his versatility. I mean, he's got the size, the passing and scoring ability to succeed at either guard position. He's almost Westbrookish.
And you ask the scouts about Fultz, he has the complete game.
You know, Kevin, he checks all the boxes. Athleticism, the size to play above the rim, and above all, I think the feel for the game is quite apparent when you watch him play.
Both shots good from the stripe.
And getting to the line and hitting your free throws, a good way to get back into the game. It stops the clock and extends the game and allows you the opportunity to set your defense. They've been perfect from the line so far here in the second quarter.
Now here's George. A 38-point game for him in the win against Detroit. Patterson can't get it to go.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
After going scoreless in the first, he's really found a way to turn it on here in the second quarter.
Now Schroeder. And you know the points will always be there for him. He's averaging just a shade under 20 points a game right now. Here's Roberson. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Fultz has got his 3rd rebound tonight. Johnson inside. Adams defending. It's blocked. Here's Schroeder. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got 4 assists in the game.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Greg, the play in the paint has gone almost entirely all their way.
Now here's Chandler. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now he averages nearly 12 points a game. Oklahoma City leading by 16. And George kicks to Roberson. Pass to Patterson. Back to Roberson.
Yeah, just nice strength there, and then just off with the shot.
Boy, with all the contact he drew there, Greg, that would have been a heck of a bucket. He nearly got it to go.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
That free throw missing, and a new group getting ready for Oklahoma City. Noel's checked in for Steven Adams. Grant comes in for Patrick Patterson. Ferguson's checked in for George. And Abrinas subbed in for Dennis Schroeder. Then for the 76ers, Robert Covington's checked in for Chandler. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Fultz. Good on the second free throw. And so here is Philadelphia. 17-point game. McConnell kicks to Redick. Philadelphia moving the ball around. And there's the feed to Muscala. The pass to McConnell. The dish to Muscala. Here's Covington. They get it back. And he gets it to go.
You know, you look at Johnson, he's in that upper echelon when you talk about offensive rebounders, so you've got to account for him.
There's a screen by Noel. Here's Ferguson. No good on the shot. Great D that time from Redick. There's a minute left here in the second. Pass to McConnell. Swiped it away. Down low. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
Boy, one of the things about Covington is that his length bothers the opposing players. I mean, he's somebody that takes defense seriously and looks to pilfer the ball whenever he can.
One shot.
That's good from McConnell.
And T.J. McConnell, undrafted out of Arizona, but he caught on with the Sixers, and I tell you what, made an immediate impact. Standing at about 6'2" and just over 200 pounds. He brings that physicality at the defensive end of the floor.
Roberson the pass to Noel. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Ferguson. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Good presence of mind there by Noel. He can feel what's happening around him, sensing the wide open man and then getting that pass over to him quick.
For Oklahoma City, they have shot 10 of 11 at the line. Nice work so far for them.
One shot. One shot.
And the free throw, no good. The 76ers trail by 14. Here's McConnell. From deep. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And so it's Oklahoma City sitting with a comfortable lead, up by 14. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Billy, balanced scoring for your team. How pleased are you with the way they're keeping everybody involved offensively?
Well, those guys, I think, have done a really good job of moving the ball and sharing the ball, and they're finding open men and they're willing passers, and I think because of that, they've been efficient offensively.
Open shots tend to be made. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what an amazing performance the hometown fans are witnessing here tonight. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. Paul George taking care of business in this one. He had 13 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Well, they were dishing out dimes left and right, and the guys were finishing strong. As a team, they seem to be always thinking, always looking for the best shot. If they keep sharing the ball this way, the second half could be more lopsided than the first.
And over to Shaq. What did you think about Philadelphia?
Well, they struggled in a number of areas. Protecting the rim is really at the top of the list. They haven't made that a priority. They haven't put forth a whole lot of effort. You got to protect the rim.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. We go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
An aerial view of downtown as we return you to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, with the Great Plains stretching off in the distance. Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. You look at Paul George in this game, guys, he's been everywhere.
And through the first 2 periods, it seemed he got to the paint whenever he wanted to, just a slasher's mentality.
Yeah, you know, good things happen when he cuts to the rim, Greg, and you cut into the heart of the defense like that, makes things easy.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. The 76ers trail by 14. Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. And so in the game for the 76ers, we've got Wilson Chandler. Embiid is out there with Dario Saric. Then it's Simmons. And it's Fultz in at the 2. And George, here we go. Some solid defense from Saric.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Exactly. Can't play it any better than that, Greg.
Chandler's shot, good.
And Simmons is just a complete package, a player that can really drop dimes to his teammates.
Now, here is George, outside Westbrook. Patterson, the screen. Robertson dishes to Patterson. Out of bounds, Philadelphia takes possession. And a look here at the shot chart for Philadelphia.
And when you look at this shot chart, you get a good visual of just how often they are settling for something outside. They have to know that this defense wants them to take those kinds of shots, and they would be a lot better off if they recommit to attacking the basket.
Here's Fultz. Embiid the screen. Ball's knocked loose. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. And slam dunk by Saric.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And Adams kicks to Westbrook. To the inside. That's good for George on the assist by Westbrook. Westbrook's got his 8th assist here tonight.
Well, I tell you what, he's putting together quite a game here, knocking down shots and building upon this lead.
And the shot goes in from Fultz.
You've got to give Brett Brown, I think, just a ton of credit for holding the Sixers locker room together over the years. Brutally difficult to lose and keep fighting and playing hard and playing together. He's created, along with those players, a culture of hard work and effort, and they are not skipping steps along the way. And eventually, folks, that will pay off in good play.
Oh, perfect timing there to knock down the teardrop.
Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. There's a screen. From the arc. 76ers with a fresh shot clock. Here's Chandler. Chandler. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. Chandler's got 5 points now this quarter.
You know, his positioning near the hoop, always to his advantage. Just a terrific job to tip that one back in.
Patterson, the screen. And Roberson kicks to Westbrook. To the middle, clock at 6. Adams' shot is off. And for Brett Brown, don't you think his positivity as a person and his love for coaching have helped lift the team through those down years, Clark?
Man, I don't think there's any question about that, Kevin. He knew it was going to be a tall task, actually taller than any of us could articulate. He stayed optimistic and realistic at the same time, demanding yet being patient, keeping his team focused the right way and on the right things. It's really an outstanding job and a commitment from management and ownership to stay the course because they think he's the right guy. So very impressive on all fronts.
You know, we talk about it all the time, guys. Those second chance buckets, always the result of that extra effort.
The basket counts and one. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a three-point play.
And, you know, Westbrook is fearless. Likes getting deep inside and finishing around the rim and plays in attack mode all the time.
This will be his 4th shot at the line in this one.
An 89% free throw shooter puts him right there among the league's best from the line.
You know, even in games where he hasn't been at his best this season, I mean, he still managed to get it done at the charity stripe when he gets his opportunities.
The free throw drops for Russell Westbrook. The 76ers trail by 13, and the 76ers call time here.
And he has not been on his game here. He's forcing a lot of shots, and the team is suffering because of it. It's time for him to focus on getting his teammates involved. Looking at the numbers for George, some impressive play from him over the last month. He's averaging about 19 points per, 4 assists and 4 rebounds. And he brings that offensive firepower to the team. Scoring just comes natural.
And, you know, defenses are throwing everything at him, yet he's still able to put up points. He's really unstoppable.
That shot wide open. Chandler's got 11.
Really like the quick decision-making of Fultz there, Kevin. Excellent at surveying the floor for the open teammate.
George passes to Westbrook. Patterson, the screen. Here's Schroeder. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. 6 points for him.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Now here's Chandler. He's got 11. Good on the shot. Schroeder with the ball. Screen by Adams. A floater, and it's finished off by Schroeder as he lays it in. Schroeder's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And you can see there the defender gets caught up on the pick.
I think he's got to be more aggressive, stronger, getting through those screens. Can't allow shooters that kind of space to pull the trigger.
And the shot goes in from Fultz.
Their three-point percentage has taken a big leap here in this second half.
And their lasers are starting to do their thing. I mean, that's going to be the ticket for them the rest of the way.
Now here's Westbrook. 16 points for him. Schroeder outside. That doesn't go either for Schroeder. The 76ers trail by 9. Here's Fultz, and it's sent back by George.
Well, I tell you what, Paul George is so tough on defense. Love the way he gets after people. He's excellent at staying in the play as well as staying in his stance so he can come up with rejections and deflection.
And here's Schroeder. Wilson Chandler getting his 3 to go. And George. Whoa!
Hey, watch out now. Watch out. He's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Insane dunk.
And now they're starting to rub it in. Build up a lead, and here we go, baby. It is showtime.
And why not? A little salt in the wound. The more plays they make like that, the more they'll have these guys reeling and on the ropes.
Now here's Simmons over Westbrook. And he overshot that one, missing. Patterson against Saric. Here's Westbrook, and Oklahoma City again with the bucket.
Man, you got to admire how easily Westbrook takes over games. I mean, an offensive juggernaut who is tenacious when it comes to scoring.
And Saric gets to Embiid.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg.
Well, I like the way he capped off that drive. The one-hand hole punch.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder.
And, you know, Joel Embiid quickly emerging as one of the league's elite rim protectors. I mean, Coach Brett Brown called him the crown jewel, the centerpiece to their defense.
And a new group getting ready for Oklahoma City. Noel's checked in for Steven Adams. Grant comes in for Patrick Patterson. Ferguson's checked in for George. And Abrinas subbed in for Russell Westbrook. There's a screen by Noel. Schroeder kicks to Grant. 6 to shoot. Fires, high post. That one off the back iron and out. And with Embiid's presence now, Clark, opponents shoot a very low percentage around the rim.
Well, the best defensive impact in the league by the numbers, Kevin. And his 7'5" wingspan, a big part of that.
Here's Ferguson. He has 7. Kicks it to Grant. Johnson with the block. And here's McConnell. Here's Muscala. No good with the triple. Schroeder, left side. It falls for his 5th field goal of the night. Now shooting 5 for 8.
Just no resistance inside at all. They are feasting. This is a straight buffet.
It is. It's a big one. And load the plate.
Yeah, exactly. It sure is. Plenty of second opportunities. 8 of their last 10 points from the paint, but the defense still continues to back away and not show any aggression.
Abrinas' shot is off. The 76ers trail by 10. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Tell you what, with the long-range game Redick has, you can sometimes forget how good his mid-range game is, too.
Here's Abrinas. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. It's Schroeder with the drive. Johnson with the block. Here's Covington, and Grant sends it back. Covington kicks to Redick. Passes it to McConnell. They set the pick. Shoots over Schroeder. They recover it. Here's Johnson. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket. Johnson's got his 2nd basket of the night. Now Schroeder. He's got 10. There's the 3. Abrinas' shot is off.
Well executed. Great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Agree with you there, partner, because that screen really freed him up nicely, and that's a shot that if you're a pro, you need to make that one.
McConnell kicks to Redick. Back to McConnell. Shoots from 14. The rebound by Grant. The Thunder leading by 6. To the paint. Here's Noel. And slam dunk by Noel.
Boy, I tell you, his dunking skills are special. Noel really pounds it through the hoop when he gets a chance to.
Outside, Reddick. And Johnson now top of the key. Dishes it to Covington. Johnson the screen. Now here's McConnell. He's covered by Noel. And the rejection by Noel.
And he's still scoreless in the quarter. They might need to go to a plan B to help him get his confidence.
Outside, Reddick. He dishes it to Johnson. He feeds it to Covington. Back to Johnson. Over Noel. And with that, the Thunder lead is cut down now to just 6 points with that basket from Johnson. Oklahoma City has gotten 1 of 6 three-pointers to drop since coming out of the locker room at halftime. Here's Abrinas. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. He kicks it to Schroeder. From past the arc. Oklahoma City keeping it alive with a new 24-second shot clock. Here's Abrinas. Good on the triple. Abrinas has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on him.
Reddick dishes to Johnson. Back to Reddick. Philadelphia moving the ball around. They set the pick. Here's Covington. Here's Johnson. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2. Johnson's got 9.
They've cashed in on a lot of second chance opportunities here in the second half. That extra effort will help them cut into this deficit.
Here's Abrinas. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Covington in the corner. No good on the triple. Pulls it up. Bank shot. No good. And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. Right back after this break. Let's take a listen to a recent huddle from Coach Billy Donovan.
We got to now start to anchor down defensively right now. Trust each other and trust the loads. It's not just one-on-one defense, it's together.
Little help from your friends. This is what Billy wants. He wants a lot of communication, wants teamwork. And guys, you were talking during that break. Do you think his team is listening?
You know, you also have to credit the other team. I always say, you know, they get checks on the 1st and 15th also. I mean, the offensive play calling is having an effect, and let's just see how they respond.
Just 1 quarter left in regulation. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Ferguson out there with Grant. Then there's Nerlens Noel. Then there's Andre Robertson. And it's Abrinas in at the point guard. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Now, here's Reddick. Feeds it to Johnson. They set the pick. This one for 3. Yep, it goes, and the Oklahoma City lead is cut down now to just 4 in the basket from J.J. Reddick.
Excellent confidence from Reddick. Really good. I mean, taking his time, his form, textbook.
Robertson loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
Simmons passes to Muscala. Back to Simmons. Reddick is in the corner. Here's Johnson. Lays it up and banks it in. And that's a double-double for him now. 11 points and 16 rebounds. And Robertson kicks to Grant. Pass to Abrinas. Back to Grant for 3. And the Thunder another 3.
I tell you, I like the fact that Grant is selective in the shots that he takes. He's looking for quality. If he senses the defense is playing off him, as the pass is coming to him, he's prepared. He's getting shot ready as the pass is in the air.
Philadelphia with the ball after Oklahoma City gets the 3. And that one's good, Simmons.
And really with Simmons, the guy just has everything, including that soft mid-range jumper.
Robertson dishes to Grant. Down low, and Noel kicks to Abrinas. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, not a lot of effort put forth on defense there. I mean, I think he's definitely got to play up on him more and off the screen in that situation.
Reddick can't get that one to fall.
Well, I think the defense got really lucky there. I mean, you can't afford to give up wide open shots from deep.
Wide open. Here's Simmons, and 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
And the Australian Simmons is a star in the making thanks to his extremely versatile and high-level skill set and big frame.
And he can't get the first one.
And Ben Simmons has what I think is elite defensive potential. Quick feet, quick hands, good size, good IQ, and he's a terrific rebounder.
And the 76ers making a change here. Joel Embiid, he's checked in for Johnson. Sharch comes in for Mike Muscala. Wilson Chandler's checked in for Robert Covington. And it's Fulton for J.J. Redick. And defensive versatility so important nowadays. Simmons' combination of size and mobility enables him to defend multiple positions.
And you know, Kevin, I think he can be an outstanding defensive player, even though his effort was questioned while he was at LSU. He still came up with blocks and steals, and I think he's got a good basketball IQ, and if he makes a commitment at that end of the floor, I think he could be better than average there.
And Fultz gets it to go.
You know, it's one thing to have a nice stroke, but it's another to understand how to get yourself free outside the arc for your shot. Has a soft, delicate stroke, does Fultz, and it rolls off his fingers nicely.
Here's Roberson. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. Westbrook's got assist number 9 now. Wow, what an effort here tonight. Embiid the screen. Fultz kicks to Sharch. Tipped away. Westbrook with the steal. The feed now to Robertson. Oklahoma City moving it around. Over Simmons. Westbrook can't get it to go.
They've been the better rebounding team by a healthy margin, but it hasn't been enough.
Yeah, you know, they're hustling and giving a good effort, that's for sure, but unfortunately, the execution has been lacking.
Now here's Fultz. Here's Simmons, buried from 15 feet out.
And if you're not going to respect Simmons' jumper, then he's going to hurt you with it. I mean, it's quite smooth coming off his hand.
Westbrook double team. And it's the 76ers with the ball. The 76ers trail by 8. And Sharch kicks to Simmons. There's the dish to Chandler. The pass to Fultz. 4 on the shot clock. Off target from outside. Thunder have gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the 4th. Strong work at that end of the floor. Here's Westbrook, and blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. Here's Simmons. Hits the front of the rim and out.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
Patterson, that's good.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, it's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yep, he was on the money, that's no doubt. Here's Chandler. Patrick Patterson picking up that last bucket. Chandler goes in. They double him with George. Paul George with the steal. Simmons against Westbrook. Pass to Roberson. It's George on the wing to the middle and stolen by Simmons. Roberson the pass to Westbrook. Over Fultz. Here's Adams. Banked in off the glass. And it's a 12-point Oklahoma City lead. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for Oklahoma City.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition.
Fast break, here we go. Westbrook, no good. And Simmons kicks to Saric. Can't connect from short range. Oklahoma City leading by 12. Down low, Roberson. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Saric has got his 4th rebound in this one. The shot by Chandler, wide open. The 76ers with another miss. For Oklahoma City, they've gone 7 of 13 from the field here in the 4th. And Westbrook gets it to go. Westbrook's got 20 points.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Here's Fultz following the basket by Russell Westbrook. And Andre Roberson is going to pick up the foul. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Here's Fultz. Saric with the screen for Fultz. To the middle, Westbrook with the steal.
And you saw him gauging that pass there. He knew they were coming inside with it and got in position for the steal. Really in a good position thanks to the accuracy from beyond.
Yeah, you got that right. I mean, you got it real right. They are lighting it up from beyond the arc this half.
Here's Fultz after Oklahoma City gets the 3. Chandler, no good. Outside Westbrook. Baseline J on the way. The shot by George, no good. The 76ers trail by 17. Looking to end the drought. Fultz, no good.
Allowing no space for the shooter to get comfortable. Just terrific defense.
Yeah, excellent extension on the block. Superb timing as well to swat that one away.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Vitally important. I mean, if you relax for a second, you're cooked. You're toast. They learned that lesson there.
Here's Roberson. Here's George. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That one on Embiid.
I like the intensity that George plays with down inside. It's really what earns him a lot of these calls.
Two shots.
They throw good, Paul George.
And Paul George kind of made it known of his desire to leave for LA after this season, but big risk for the Thunder to make that move and trade for him.
And both free throws good for Paul George. And for Paul George, who knows what the future holds for him, but Greg, he is a great fit, it would seem, for the Thunder.
Listen, you give the Thunder another star to pair with Westbrook, and they're taking a leap of faith here with George.
Now here's Westbrook. Markelle Fultz unable to get his last shot to go. Outside Westbrook. Over Simmons. Westbrook, no good.
The defense was less than impressive there, but despite them not really contesting that shot, he still bricked it. Fire that pass down the court, guys. I mean, that's the best way to keep the fast break moving.
Here's Roberson after Ben Simmons' bucket. Right side, Westbrook. Outside for George. Passes to Patterson. Over Saric. Tried to bank it in, but he misses.
Man, low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
I agree with you. Not a good shot, not good offense. They can get a much better look than that, but they're going to need to be patient to do so.
Now here's Westbrook. Markelle Fultz unable to get his last shot to go. And George kicks to Adams. Chandler with the steal. And it's Paul George with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Now here's Fultz. Embiid the screen. Off the pick. And finished off by Fultz.
And Fultz is a great dunker. Makes high-octane slams look effortless.
Westbrook dishes to Adams. Here's George. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. The 76ers trail by 13. And Simmons kicks to Embiid. And Embiid throws it down.
And how about he takes on the defender head on and it.
Look at that.
Oh, my goodness. Watch out. And George can rapidly fill up the score column now. He's a high-volume shooter who doesn't hesitate at any time to let it fly.
Now here's Simmons. Here's Chandler. Russell Westbrook with the rebound. Westbrook's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. We've got 1:28 left in the game. In the corner, George with it. There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That's his first foul. The 76ers trail by 13. Chandler with a screen for Simmons. Charge a screen on Westbrook. Embiid inside. Adams on him. And Joel Embiid again. Embiid's got 4 points this quarter.
And the defense can't match up with Embiid's size. I mean, he's just too powerful down there.
Over in the corner, Fultz. No good from outside.
That's a look you cannot pass up. It's also one you shouldn't miss. And we'll just watch the clock wind down, guys, in what will turn out to be a win here for the Thunder.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
And they found a way to get their shots to go down. A little luck didn't hurt. A lot of their 50-50 shots fell their way.
And now on the year, this will take them to 28 wins.
Really, they had their number this season. 2 wins, a home win, and an away win.
Yeah, you know, I thought the result might be a little different this time around, but clearly I was mistaken. And now they'll have to wait till next year for a shot at revenge.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Russell Westbrook.
I thought his active hands were a big help. I mean, he took some chances on defense, and his gambles paid off. He got a bunch of steals.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
They throw good, Paul George. And both free throws good for Paul George. 24 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Simmons passes to Covington. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
Man, it's always terrific when Covington gets going down in the paint. I mean, this guy can score the ball from anywhere on the floor.
Here's Abrinas. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. And I think they built off that edge of being here and play with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Paul. Congrats on the win. Where's your team's attitude right now?
Continue to, play together. And we can just stick to that, keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Looked like it all came together tonight, Paul. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long, everyone.